there are some people out there who really disagree with you with the legal way of doing things. I'm gonna start with Steve.
Uncle Steve, say it
Uncle
ain't so.
Steve. Mr. Mustache. The big dog.
Mm-hmm.
What's his daughter's name or stepdaughter's name again?
Lori Harvey.
Lori Harvey. Man eater. Oh. Well, she is. I mean, I'm not lying, right, guys?
Yeah.
But
Son, father.
let's keep it to this guy. I mean, he's a known comedian and also presenter. No. I'm just kidding. Well, I'm kidding, but let's come to focus. Let's try to focus. Steve is out here. He's a known. He has been known to be anti-prenup.
Yeah.
And he's sitting here in his show. I don't know if this Stray Dog show. I don't follow Steve, but I happen to find this. Well, you happen to find this one.
Yeah.
And you thought it would be a great addition to this
To contribute to the
to
discussion.
this discussion. So let's start to look at what Steve thinks about prenups.
Listen to this. Actor and wrestler John Cena recently split from ex-fiancee Nikki Bella. He made her sign a...
What do you think he made her sign? They weren't married. They're going to live together.
They signed a prenup? Or they signed a, what's it called? Contract for cohabitation, something like that.
Something like that. Okay. Let's listen.
A formal contract from ex-fiancee Nikki Bella. He made her sign a formal contract before they moved in together in 2013. It stated that if they ever broke up, she would have to leave the premises immediately. Are relationship prenups a good idea?
I say yes.
We have someone who agrees with relationship prenups.
Does she though? Look at her face. Is she trying to play a game?
You think she's trying to finesse somebody?
I have no idea. You have to
Let's
play
see.
a game. But let's see. She is so she's pro prenup. Leave the premise right away. Walk of shame 2.0.
I think that they're a really good idea. I mean, by the time that you get to the point where you don't want to be with each other anymore, you want it to go as smoothly as possible. And at this point, you can pull out that piece of paper and be like, this is yours, this is mine, and you can separate in a nice, amicable way. At least that's what you hope.
I don't know. If I'm done.
Sounds kind of logical.
Sounds logical.
How you described it moments earlier.
Yeah.
But of course, there are people that don't look the same way. They don't believe it in that. And we're going to see the next part.
Done with someone, I'm done. I don't want any of this. Take it. I'm out. I think if you have a prenup or if you have some sort of contract, you're already going into the relationship with an expiration date. You're thinking, I'm gonna break up with you.
That's a way to look at it.
Yeah. I'll save my comments for afterwards.
Okay.
This wasn't a prenup, though. This was a contract that he put in front of her, 46 pages, that says, if we're going to break up, you are out the door.
If you break up, you're always out the door. What is she talking about? But anyway.
Ladies, your strongest weapon is your intuition. If somebody's handing you a contract on day one saying, if it don't work, your ass is out the door, your ass needs to be out the door on day one.
I'm gonna rewind that one. What did she say? Did you guys hear what she said?
The door.
up with you.
This wasn't a prenup, though. This was a contract that he put in front of her, 46 pages, that says, if we're going to break up, you are out the door. Ladies, your strongest weapon is your intuition. If somebody's handing you a contract on day one saying, if it don't work, your ass is out the door, your ass needs to be out the door on day one.
I agree.
Yeah.
Are we serious?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. What I do notice is that so you have three people on the couch with three different way of thinking. One of them seems to be pro. The other one, because and her reason is because that would make a possible exit less complicated. The second one was against it, but her reasoning was because a prenup is a plan B. Let's say it's like entering a relationship with a plan B, and prenup, in this case, they're talking about pre-marriage contracts. And she doesn't think that you should enter a relationship with a plan B in mind. And the third one is definitely against. Well, I don't know if she's against prenup, to be honest, because she's talking about pre-marriage contracts. Because and she said it as well. She said, "Yeah, but we're not." Before she went in, she said, "Yes, but we're not talking about prenups. We're talking about pre-marriage contracts." So it's still unclear to me if she's against prenups or pre-marriage contracts. But that's what I've gathered.
Let's speculate. I know that's something lawyers don't like to do. Speculate. But let's speculate in this case. Do you think she thinks differently about prenups?
No, but that's not the point right now.
Okay. Let's continue. Just wanted to make a point, but you guys understand my point, I guess. Let's continue. You want anything to say? Do I have to continue?
No. Let's proceed. Let's proceed with the film.
Okay.
I don't even understand what's going on.
This is a 46-page contract.
46 pages?
You know, it's a funny thing. I agree. If you go into it with the idea that it's going to end, let me tell you something. I don't know a single person that has a prenup that ain't had to use it.
That is a flawed argument. That's a flawed argument. I don't know anybody with a prenup that didn't have to use it. I know a lot of people without a prenup that wanted to use it. It's a flawed argument.
I don't know anyone. No, I'm not gonna use that analogy.
No, that's
I
not
want to
it.
use it. I want to use it so bad.
I think I know what you want to use, though. No.
I want to use it so bad.
When we have our
Patreon.
when we finally have our Patreon,
Or social. What's the other?
locals. When we have a locals
locals.
community, then we'll go more raw. But
Oh man, I want to use that analogy so bad right now. And you know me pretty well, so
yeah,
you know where I was going.
I'm pretty sure where you're going.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Yeah.
But that's not all. Steve has another part of this thought.
A single person that has a prenup that ain't had to use it. She said, you're preparing for failure. It's like having a plan B.
Yeah, it's your.
Was it a bad idea to have a plan B?
That's a good question, actually.
When was it a bad idea? When was it a bad idea to have a plan B? I have to say,
that's a good point.
I'm about to drop a joke right here, guys. I'm announcing it, so you're ready. And this is the reason why RJ tries to silence me sometimes. No, I'm just kidding.
You can say whatever you want, man.
What I'm trying to say is, when when has someone Roe versus Wade is up, so you better have a plan B. Steve, you have a flawed argument out here, bruh. I'm sorry.
But that's a
Need a
very
plan B.
well, yeah.
At least in that case.
It's semantics, because some people will say no, you should only have a plan A, you shouldn't have a plan B. But in reality, is no matter what you do, if it's a game, if it's a business, whatever, you have your goals, but you need to pivot, because you might think things will go a certain way, but they will go a different way.
So I'll use a PC analogy. I'm not gonna use the one I had in my mind.
Okay.
Is this is our seatbelts a plan B?
That's a good one, because you don't plan to crash.
Double thought.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
You guys, I'm giving out free. How did Hafiz said free game?
Free game
Giving out free game, guys.
and expensive suits.
Well, no, I don't have expensive suits now.
No, but
I might
Hafiz.
have to switch it up.
Uh,
I have to switch it up. But guys, a seatbelt is your plan B. You're not planning to crash the car, but you better be strapped in case the car crashes. Or you get hit, you get rear-ended. You better have your seatbelt on.
That's a good one. A parachute is a plan B. A life raft is a plan B.
Who you
That's a good, yeah.
double thought, man. I have
Double
to use
thought.
that as a. I
That's
have to use that as a punchline, man. Double
Yeah,
thought, like
double
Sean
thought.
Price did.
Yeah, double thought.
Double thought. But hey, man, this is what it is. These people go in without a seatbelt, hoping not to crash.
Yeah.
Good luck, cause luck
Luck
you
you
will
will-
need.
Yeah.
See, people
And it-
kill me with that. A
I
plan
used to
B
think like
is
that.
ridiculous. If you have a plan B, how can you possibly expect A to work
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you don't put your all
Yo, if you don't use my analogy, that doesn't make any sense what he's saying.
into A?
You have to go into that relationship 100% committed, not thinking, okay, if it doesn't work out, this is what I'm going to do. You know, if it doesn't work out, then fine. I'm out of here. I don't want any of this.
And
I'll
by
go
the
shopping
way-
and buy new furniture.
Right, right. And if it
That she just basically said the relationship is like her partner is like a furniture.
No.
She said, wait a second. Let me spin
No.
that one back, man. Let's
I don't
circle
thi-
the block.
I don't
Or
think.
am I taking her stuff out of context
I think you are. But let's play it again to
on
see.
purpose? Am I
Guys
doing
in
it
the
on
chat, let
purpose,
us
guys?
know. Let us know if KaiR is interpreting what she's saying
Let's see
correctly.
what she's saying.
Doesn't work out, then fine. I'm out of here. I don't want any of this.
And
I'll
by
go
the
shopping
way-
and buy new furniture.
right, right. And if it doesn't work out, I hope that you would treat me accordingly. There are plenty of women who have busted their butts for their men. They have put into that relationship. Why is it that after 5-10 years, a relationship doesn't work? You're going to throw me out of the house? No, I'm keeping the house, the car. I'm keeping it.
There you have it.
She
Plan
wasn't
B.
talking about the prenup, but she's talking about the prenup now.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked the question earlier. Do you think she's talking about the prenup or is she talking about the This doesn't make any sense if it's a pre-marriage contract, what she's saying.
That's true.
don't own
That's
anything.
true. Yeah, she went on a prenup. But can
She
you play
switched
it?
on the prenup part.
Can you start like when she started to talk?
Then
And
I'll
by
go
the
shopping
way-
and buy new furniture.
Right, right.
By the way, she did compare her partner.
No, I don't think so. I think what she's saying is that buy new furniture for her new apartment. That's what I think she's saying.
Oh, okay.
Because no, you can't compare it to a man and say you will buy it. So it's two things. It has to be that she's gonna shop for furniture for a new place or something. That's what I think she means.
Really? My Larry David face.
That's what I think.
Anyway, let's continue. So,
Right. And if it doesn't work out, I hope that you would treat me accordingly. There are plenty of women who have busted their butts for their men. They have put into that relationship. Why is it that after 5, 10 years, a relationship doesn't work? You're going to throw me out of the house? No, I'm keeping the house, the car. I'm keeping everything. Your ass is leaving the house.
Amen.
girl power! Dude, it's like some call me the Oracle.
Yeah,
Well, now that we got that out the way, let's move on.
that's enough. Before we continue, we have LW. Shout out to LW, one of our most loyal followers, saying she says she won't take any. So I think she's referring to what we're talking about, the furniture. She's saying that she won't take any furniture they share together, but will buy new furniture. So she won't have any. She doesn't want anything to do with. Yeah.
He's keeping the leftovers.
Yeah. You see, that's why we can decipher these things. Yeah. But it makes sense. It makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. I looked into it the wrong way.
At least my guess was closer, though. You went.
Yeah, I guess so. I went left. I swung for the fences, and it went total fall ball.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anyway.
Thank you, LW, for your comment.
So, what do you think about that? That one.
A couple of things that come to mind. Because let's say it's always good to hear the arguments, and what the women are saying is that if you read between the lines, is that they want a certain level of security, especially the last woman saying that, yeah, I've busted my butt off for 10 years, and now you're gonna put me out of the house without anything. So I think what that alludes to is a level of certainty. So I think, and the point is, it's not the prenup that's the problem, the prenup in itself, but the agreements in the prenup. Because a prenup, let's say, that's why it's important for both parties to have
their own lawyers
when signing an agreement and or a prenup, because what you agree to today will have effect tomorrow. And I do think, but that's like moral ethical, you need to, a good prenup is a prenup in which parties get out with a win-win situation, or at least they lose equally. Let's put it like that. So
I was about to say, probably lose is a better way to put it.
It's a lose, but then it's equal, or at least not equal. I don't like the word equal. It's more proportionate, let's say, to the situation. If someone has been there for you for 10 years, and that person, let's say it doesn't have to be maybe half, because that's why you have a prenup, but I do think that in certain situations, I do think that certain situations merit a compensation of some sorts. can be alimony or whatever. But that's what I believe.
That's if you're a ride or die. Well,
That's
technically,
yeah.
if you sign it already, it doesn't matter. But
You're
I
riding
would
and
think,
dying by that contract. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
One thing I have to say though, because she said she was talking as if she's the only one pouring in to the marriage or relationship. I think should be a two-way, right? The guy is also putting. It's not like the guy is sitting at home
Yeah. No, it's
doing
not.
nothing or not adding anything to the relationship.
No.
Well, at least I hope. I hope it doesn't. But majority of the time, I always have to. You got to look at things on both sides, of course, because I
Yeah.
guess the guy is always putting something into the relationship. It's not only her.
Yeah. Yeah, I always say that you can compare apples and oranges, and what men bring to the table and what women bring to the table are oftentimes different. So you can't compare. This is what I believe. I believe you can't compare. Let's say, oh, I did the dishes 2 times and you only did it once, because maybe the other person didn't do the dishes, but that person did something else. So if and also think to a point, if you're reaching the level of counting
That.
tit for it's not. I don't think that's the recipe. Shout out to AB. I don't think I don't think that's the recipe for a healthy relationship. So, but yeah, it's what you said. Oftentimes, the person who feels hurt will also feel like she's been screwed over, and then you will forget all the things that he did in this case, and only look at what you did.
You are working at Foot Locker before we met. Now you're gripping the wood grain of a foreign.
Yeah.
Now you wanna anyway.
Yeah.
Let's not go there.